When Big U had Nipsey Hussle killed, nigga. Everybody know that.
Wait. You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed.
Yeah.
You panic, call Nip. Nip answer the phone. 3 minutes after you get off the phone with Nip, he get killed. So you think he hit you a little too early?
Everybody in the hood's been saying Big U had something to do with Nipsey's death, but now there's footage. A hidden camera might have caught everything, and this new clip is making people look at Big U's confession in a whole new light. Let me break it down. The truth about Nipsey's murder. When Ermias Joseph Asghedom, better known to the world as Nipsey Hussle, was gunned down outside his own store, the hip-hop community didn't just lose an artist. They lost a visionary, a community leader, and a man who had dedicated his life to uplifting South Los Angeles. At only 33 years old, Nipsey had accomplished what many deemed impossible. He had successfully transitioned from the streets to legitimate business ownership, all while maintaining his authenticity and commitment to his neighborhood. But here's where the story gets complicated, and where the official narrative begins to show cracks that have only widened with time. According to law enforcement, Eric R. Holder Jr. was convicted of first-degree murder in July 2022 and sentenced to 60 years to life in prison. The prosecution painted a clear picture. This was allegedly a premeditated killing that stemmed from a personal dispute over accusations of snitching. Case closed, right? Not quite. The events of that fateful day began innocuously enough. Nipsey was at his store without security, engaging with fans and friends, signing autographs, and taking photos. Around 3:04 p.m., Eric Holder arrived at the strip mall with a woman he was dating. What happened next would forever change the trajectory of multiple lives and spark conspiracy theories that persist to this day. According to witnesses, including Herman Cowboy Douglas, a former gang member and store employee, Hussle allegedly mentioned rumors that Holder was a snitch, advising him to address it and be careful. The exchange was described as calm and non-confrontational, with Nipsey offering advice rather than animosity. This wasn't a heated argument or a threatening confrontation. It was, by all accounts, a relatively mundane conversation between two men from the same neighborhood. But what happened next defies the logic of a simple personal dispute. After the conversation, Holder retrieved chili cheese fries from a nearby burger joint, returned to the woman's car, and asked her to park in an adjacent lot. He then returned to the parking lot armed with a semi-automatic gun and a revolver. This wasn't a heat-of-the-moment decision. This was allegedly calculated, methodical, and brutally efficient. Holder approached Hussle, who was with a group, and opened fire, shooting him at least 10 times. The autopsy would later reveal that Nipsey was shot 11 times, with injuries to his head, chest, back, abdomen, thighs, big toe, and right elbow. After Nipsey fell to the ground, reportedly saying, "You got me," Holder allegedly kicked him in the head and fled the scene. 2 bystanders were also wounded but survived. The brutality of the attack shocked even hardened street veterans. This wasn't just a killing, it was allegedly an execution, carried out with a level of viciousness that seemed disproportionate to the alleged slight. Nipsey was pronounced dead at 3:55 p.m., just 35 minutes after the shooting. The Marathon clothing store, which had been a symbol of hope and progress in the community, became a crime scene that would haunt South Los Angeles forever. But even as the official investigation was getting underway, questions were already being raised about the narrative being presented. How does a casual conversation about street rumors escalate to such extreme violence? Why would someone risk everything over what amounted to friendly advice? And most importantly, who really benefited from Nipsey Hussle's death? The surveillance footage from the area would become crucial evidence, but it also raised more questions than it answered. LAPD collected footage from multiple cameras around the crime scene, including the Marathon clothing and adjacent businesses. This footage helped identify Holder as the shooter, but it also captured something else: the allegedly methodical nature of the attack and the seemingly calculated way Holder moved through the scene. What makes this case even more intriguing is the timing of recent developments. In March 2025, Eugene Big U Henley was arrested on federal RICO charge, sending shockwaves through the hip-hop community and reigniting speculation about his potential involvement in Nipsey's death. While the federal charges don't directly implicate Big U in Nipsey's murder, they've opened a Pandora's box of allegations and theories that refuse to die. Big U, whose real name is Eugene Henley, isn't just any music executive. He's allegedly a leader of the Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips and was a former manager of Nipsey Hussle. Their relationship was complex, deeply rooted in both business and the streets of South LA. Big U played a significant role in launching Hussle's career, managing him in his early days and providing a recording space in his family's home. But here's where things get murky. While Big U and Nipsey shared gang affiliations and business connections, their relationship relationship wasn't without its alleged complications. There was allegedly a notable incident in a parking lot involving Big U, Hussle, and Hussle's brother Black Sam that has fueled speculation. According to online discussions, the altercation allegedly stemmed from gang-related issues and reportedly involved a physical confrontation, with Black Sam allegedly firing a gun to stop Big U from attacking Nipsey and their father. The complexity of these relationships can't be overstated. This wasn't just about music or money, it was allegedly about power, respect, and control in a community where all three are inextricably linked. Nipsey's daughter's mother is Big U's niece, adding a personal layer to their relationship. Some sources mention alleged tensions arising from Nipsey's disapproval of certain environments his daughter was exposed to, which may have contributed to friction between the two men. What's particularly compelling about the recent developments is how they've shed new light on the alleged power dynamics that existed in Nipsey's world. The federal RICO charges against Big U include murder, related to the 2021 killing of aspiring rapper Rayshawn Williams in Las Vegas, extortion, human trafficking, and fraud. These charges paint a picture of an alleged criminal enterprise that operated with impunity for years, allegedly using legitimate businesses as fronts for illegal activities. In the 2021 murder of Rayshawn Williams, Henley allegedly scrubbed studio security footage to cover his tracks, indicating awareness of surveillance. This detail is particularly significant because it shows an alleged pattern of behavior, someone who allegedly understood the importance of controlling the narrative and eliminating evidence. Could this same methodology have allegedly been applied to Nipsey's case? The timing of these revelations has been particularly jarring for the hip-hop community. Just when it seemed like Nipsey's case was closed, with Holder convicted and sentenced, new questions have emerged about whether the full truth was ever revealed. Rapper SKG has publicly accused Big U of involvement in Hussle's death, particularly following his 2025 RICO arrest. SKG's allegations, while lacking concrete evidence, have resonated with those who never fully bought into the official narrative. But perhaps the most unsettling aspect of this entire saga is how it reflects the broader challenges facing young black men in communities like South Los Angeles. Nipsey himself was acutely aware of these challenges and had dedicated his life to creating alternatives to the cycle of violence and criminality that had claimed so many of his peers. His death represents not just a personal tragedy, but a broader indictment of a system that seems designed to destroy those who try to break free from its constraints. The conspiracy theories surrounding Nipsey's death haven't emerged in a vacuum. They're rooted in a deep-seated distrust of official narratives, particularly when it comes to the deaths of prominent black figures. The theories range from alleged government hits tied to a Dr. Sebi documentary to alleged industry betrayals or COINTELPRO revival. While these theories may seem far-fetched to some, they reflect valid anxieties about systemic oppression and the alleged targeting of black leaders who threaten the status quo. As we prepare to delve deeper into this complex web of relationships, allegations, and unanswered questions, it's important to remember that at the center of all this speculation is a man who was trying to make a positive difference in his community. Nipsey Hussle wasn't perfect, but he was genuinely committed to breaking cycles of violence and creating opportunities for others. His death robbed the world of not just a talented artist, but a visionary leader who understood that real change comes from within communities, not from outside forces. The web of alleged deception, Big U's rise and fall. To understand the full scope of what we're dealing with, we need to examine the recent federal charges that have brought Big U back into the spotlight. In March 2025, Big U was arrested on federal RICO charges, accused of allegedly running a mafia-like enterprise through his nonprofit, Developing Options, and his ties to the Rolling 60s. The scope of these charges is staggering: alleged murder, extortion, human trafficking, and fraud, painting a picture of an alleged criminal organization that operated with shocking brazenness. But the facade allegedly began to crumble when investigators started looking beneath the surface. In a series of videos released before his surrender to authorities, Big U provided a fascinating glimpse into his mindset and his version of events. These videos, which serve as both a defense and an indictment, reveal a man who understood exactly what he was facing and was desperate to control the narrative.
And I'm disheartened by the fact that they trying to say that I stole something from Developing Option, or I used Developing Option as a front. Developing Option paid my bills. They paid my house note. They paid the bills for my family, the money I made as an employee for Developing Option. I never mixed that with nothing. I didn't manipulate nobody. I didn't steal nothing.
This admission is remarkable for its candor. Big U openly acknowledges allegedly using his nonprofit as a front, but insists he didn't steal from it. This kind of doublespeak is typical of someone who has allegedly lived in the gray areas between legal and illegal for so long that the distinctions have become meaningless. The fact that he felt comfortable making this admission suggests either supreme confidence in his legal position or a complete misunderstanding of how federal prosecutors operate. The relationship between Big U and Nipsey Hussle becomes even more complex when we examine the alleged business arrangements that existed between them. Big U played a significant role in launching Hussle's career, managing him in his early days and providing a recording space in his family's home. This wasn't just a professional relationship, it was allegedly deeply personal, with Nipsey actually living with Big U's family during his formative years. But as Nipsey's star began to rise, the nature of their relationship allegedly began to change. Success in the music industry, particularly for artists who come from the streets, often creates tension between old loyalties and new opportunities. Nipsey's desire for independence and his vision for his community didn't always allegedly align with the interests of those who had helped him get started. The federal indictment against Big U provides disturbing details about his alleged criminal activities, but it's the alleged pattern of behavior that's most revealing. In the 2021 murder of Rayshawn Williams, Henley allegedly scrubbed studio security footage to cover his tracks, indicating awareness of surveillance. This level of alleged sophistication suggests someone who allegedly understood how to manipulate evidence and control narratives, skills that would be invaluable in allegedly covering up other crimes. The timing of Big U's alleged crimes is also significant. While the federal charges focus on alleged activities from 2021 onwards, the methods and mindset they reveal didn't develop overnight. This was allegedly someone who had been operating in the shadows for years, allegedly using legitimate businesses to launder money and maintain the appearance of respectability while allegedly orchestrating violence and exploitation.
Government putting this big ass picture, they want to arrest 21 dudes, some dudes I don't even talk to. I don't even know nothing about. So how the hell you gonna lump me in with all them? But it's all a big picture though. It's all a big picture.
This statement reveals Big U's understanding that he's not just facing charges for his individual actions, but that he's being positioned as the alleged leader of a criminal enterprise. Federal RICO cases are designed to dismantle entire organizations, not just prosecute individual crimes. The fact that Big U recognizes this suggests he understood the scope of what he was allegedly involved in. The allegations against Big U also shed light on the broader ecosystem of alleged violence and exploitation that exists in some parts of the music industry. The federal charges include human trafficking, which suggests a level of alleged criminality that goes far beyond traditional street-level activities. This isn't just about alleged territorial disputes or drug dealing. This is about the alleged systematic exploitation of vulnerable people for profit. But perhaps the most troubling aspect of Big U's alleged activities is how they were allegedly facilitated by his position in the community. Through his nonprofit work and his connections in the music industry, Big U was allegedly able to maintain a public image as someone who was helping the community. This kind of alleged dual identity, community leader by day, alleged criminal by night, is particularly insidious because it allegedly allows predators to operate with impunity while maintaining the trust of their victims. The federal indictment paints a picture of an alleged organization that operated with shocking brazenness. The charges suggest that Big U's enterprise was allegedly involved in everything from murder to fraud, allegedly using legitimate businesses as fronts while allegedly terrorizing communities. This wasn't allegedly small-time criminality. This was alleged organized crime operating on a scale that rivals traditional organized crime families.
But this how they get you. They get one or two people to say something. Ain't gonna be no real evidence. Ain't gonna be no real nothing. It's gonna be a repeated thug. It's gonna be a bunch of people in jail for a bunch of different crimes that don't have nothing to do with me. They finna lump all of us up and say it's all the roll of 60s. Watch and see. We just seen it with thug. I'm finna experience the same thing out here.
This statement is particularly revealing because it shows Big U's awareness of how federal prosecutors allegedly build RICO cases. He's referencing the recent prosecution of Young Thug and YSL, where prosecutors allegedly used lyrics, social media posts, and alleged gang affiliations to build their case. Big U clearly understands that he's facing similar tactics, and his frustration is palpable. The timing of Big U's arrest has also reignited speculation about his alleged relationship with Nipsey. Rapper SKG has been particularly vocal in her accusations, claiming that Big U was allegedly an exploitative and abusive monster who allegedly orchestrated attacks against her, including an alleged assault at Hussle's store while she was pregnant. While these allegations haven't been proven in court, they paint a picture of someone who allegedly used violence and intimidation as tools of control. As we prepare to examine the final piece of this puzzle, the conspiracy theories and alleged cover-up allegations that have swirled around Nipsey's death, it's important to understand that Big U's arrest has fundamentally changed the conversation. What once seemed like a closed case with a clear perpetrator now appears to be part of a much larger web of alleged criminality and corruption. Truth lies, and the alleged price of speaking out. One of the most persistent theories centers around Nipsey's work on a documentary about Dr. Sebi, a Honduran herbalist who claimed to have cured diseases like AIDS and cancer through alkaline diet and natural remedies. The theory suggests Hussle was allegedly assassinated by the government, pharmaceutical companies, or the Illuminati to silence his work on this documentary. While there's no concrete evidence supporting this theory, it gained massive traction on social media, with videos titled "Why the Illuminati Killed Nipsey Hussle," garnering millions of views. But perhaps more troubling than the theories themselves is the alleged systematic campaign to discredit and silence those who dare to question the official narrative. Big U's recent videos before his surrender provide a fascinating glimpse into this dynamic, as he describes an alleged coordinated effort to destroy his reputation and eliminate his influence in the community.
Wax said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me.
This allegation, if true, reveals an alleged level of coordination between law enforcement and industry figures that goes far beyond normal criminal investigation. The idea that federal agents would allegedly actively work to isolate someone financially and socially before bringing charges suggests an alleged level of personal animosity that's deeply concerning.
Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community, and do what you can.
While Big U's claims about his community work should be viewed skeptically given the serious charges against him, this statement touches on a broader pattern of how federal law enforcement has historically allegedly targeted black leaders and organizations. The FBI's COINTELPRO program, which systematically allegedly targeted civil rights leaders, Black Panthers, and other activists, created a foundation of distrust that persists to this day. What makes these theories particularly compelling to some is Nipsey's unique position in the community. Unlike many celebrities who distance themselves from their origins, Nipsey remained deeply embedded in South Los Angeles. His investments in Crenshaw, his ownership of Marathon Clothing, and his anti-gang initiatives made him a beacon of hope. He was scheduled to meet with LAPD Chief Michael Moore and Roc Nation representatives on April 1st, 2019, the day after his murder, to discuss curbing gang violence in South LA. The timing of this meeting has fueled speculation about whether Nipsey's death was allegedly connected to his peacemaking efforts. Some theorize Hussle was allegedly targeted by the LAPD or FBI because of his planned meeting with law enforcement to discuss curbing gang violence. While there's no evidence supporting this theory, the timing is certainly curious, but perhaps the most disturbing aspect of the conspiracy theories is how they've been used to deflect attention from the real issues that Nipsey was trying to address. The Atlantic argued that these theories distract from addressing why so many African-American boys and men are victimized by violence, pointing to systemic issues like poor education and lack of opportunity. The role of social media in amplifying and distorting these theories cannot be overstated. Platforms like YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram have allegedly become breeding grounds for speculation and misinformation, often without any fact-checking or accountability. Videos with sensational titles like "Big U didn't know he was being filmed," admitting to Nipsey Hussle's murder, garner millions of views despite containing no actual evidence of such an admission.
Now they on there saying all this stuff to assassinate my character. All right, man, just pray for me. And again, they can do any one of us. It ain't nobody safe with these dudes. If these dudes feel they want you, how they going around talking about somebody's gonna raid my house before my house get raided?
This statement from Big U highlights another troubling aspect of this case: the alleged role of social media figures and podcasters who seem to have inside information about law enforcement activities. The fact that people were allegedly discussing police raids before they happened suggests either remarkable prediction skills or access to information that raises serious questions about the integrity of the investigation process. The alleged targeting of Big U by various media personalities and social media figures also reveals how personal vendettas can allegedly be dressed up as community activism.
How they there with the police? And y'all sitting there following them. Everybody that's a part of them shows, and 100 shows, and all them shows, everybody who following them, promoting them, anything. Y'all wrong. Y'all ain't black. And y'all showing for our people.
This accusation that certain media figures are allegedly working with law enforcement is particularly serious because it suggests an alleged level of coordination between entertainment media and law enforcement that would be deeply problematic if true. The idea that people are allegedly being set up through social media campaigns designed to provide justification for law enforcement action is a troubling development in how modern investigations are allegedly conducted. But perhaps the most important question raised by all of this is what really happened to Nipsey Hussle and why. The official narrative that Eric Holder killed Nipsey over a personal personal dispute about snitching allegations may be technically accurate, but it doesn't explain the broader context of alleged power struggles, business disputes, and community dynamics that created the conditions for such violence. The brutal nature of the attack, shooting Nipsey 11 times and then allegedly kicking him in the head, suggests a level of personal animosity that goes beyond a simple disagreement. This was allegedly an execution designed to send a message, not just eliminate a person. The question is, whose message was allegedly being sent, and what was it meant to communicate? The surveillance footage that captured the attack raises its own questions. While the LAPD collected footage from multiple cameras around the crime scene, which helped identify Holder, the footage also shows the allegedly methodical nature of the attack. This wasn't allegedly a spontaneous act of violence. It was allegedly planned and executed with precision. Recent developments have also raised questions about the alleged role of various industry figures in creating the conditions that led to Nipsey's death. Social media posts have implicated figures like Sean Diddy Combs, particularly amid his own legal troubles. While these allegations are speculative and lack evidence, they reflect broader concerns about how power allegedly operates in the music industry. The tragedy of Nipsey Hussle's death extends far beyond the loss of one man, no matter how talented or important he was. His death represents the ongoing struggle between those who would allegedly exploit communities for profit and those who seek to build them up from within. The conspiracy theories, while often lacking evidence, reflect genuine concerns about alleged power, exploitation, and the targeting of black leaders who threaten established interests.
Wack said he was gonna destroy developing option, right? So who gonna replace developing option? Which one of you niggas in the 60s gonna call yourself coming in? Cause whoever try to come in, y'all the ones that's working with Wack. Believe that. So remove me to get me out the way for somebody else to come in who gonna cooperate. That's what the play is. That's what the whole play is.
This final statement from Big U is perhaps the most revealing of all because it suggests that his removal isn't just about justice, it's allegedly about control. The idea that eliminating one person allegedly creates space for someone more cooperative to take their place suggests an alleged level of manipulation and control that goes far beyond normal law enforcement. The truth about Nipsey Hussle's murder may never be fully known, but the questions raised by his death continue to resonate. They force us to confront uncomfortable realities about alleged power, violence, and the price of speaking truth in communities where silence is often the safest option. Whether Eric Holder acted alone or was allegedly part of a larger conspiracy may ultimately be less important than the systemic issues that created the conditions for such violence to occur. The recent arrest of Big U may provide some answers, but it's also likely to raise new questions about the alleged web of relationships, loyalties, and betrayals that define Nipsey's world. As federal prosecutors build their case, we may finally learn the full extent of the alleged criminal enterprise that allegedly operated in the shadows of South Los Angeles. But even if justice is served, it won't bring back the visionary leader who saw the potential for something better and paid the ultimate price for believing in it. Thanks for watching. Check out other cards on the screen.